Welcome to Global Watch. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. A fault line has opened, not just in the Earth, but in the very fabric of European unity. What was once considered a stable, predictable landscape is now shifting beneath our feet, sending tremors through the continent's political and economic foundations. In the heart of Europe, Hungary stands at a crossroads, its choices echoing far beyond its borders. This small nation, nestled between East and West, has become the epicenter of a seismic geopolitical shift. Hungary, a long-standing member of both the European Union and NATO, is now charting a bold new course. By pivoting eastward, it is aligning itself with the BRICS bloc and forging deeper economic and political ties with China. This is not a mere diplomatic gesture, it's a strategic realignment that could reshape the balance of power in Europe. This move challenges the post-Cold War order that has defined Europe for decades. It raises a fundamental question. Can a nation truly belong to two worlds at once, or does every choice come with a cost? Hungary's gamble is testing the boundaries of allegiance and identity in a rapidly changing world. The decision has sent shockwaves across European capitals. In Brussels, leaders are grappling with the implications, worried about the precedent this sets for other nations. The unity of the EU is being tested as never before, and Hungary's future within the bloc hangs in the balance. The implications are vast, touching every aspect of international relations, from trade and security to diplomacy and cultural exchange. Hungary's pivot is forcing governments, analysts and citizens alike to reconsider what it means to be European in the 21st century. For Hungary, this is a leap into the unknown. The promise of new opportunities, investment, influence and autonomy comes hand in hand with significant risks. Isolation from traditional allies, economic retaliation and internal division are all possible consequences. The world is watching closely. Newsrooms buzz with speculation and global leaders monitor every development, aware that Hungary's journey could set off a chain reaction. The choices made here may inspire others to follow, or to push back even harder. This is more than a headline, it's a defining moment for the 21st century. The story unfolding in Hungary is about more than one country's fate. It's about the future of Europe, and perhaps the world. Hungary's gambit forces us all to confront uncomfortable truths, the fragility of alliances, the shifting nature of power, and the allure of new centers of influence. As dominoes begin to fall, the established order is being challenged in ways few could have predicted. To understand Hungary's choice is to glimpse the future of Europe itself. The decisions made in Budapest today may well shape the continent's destiny for generations to come. This is a story of defiance, ambition, and profound uncertainty. A moment when history is being written in real time, and the world holds its breath to see what comes next. Hungary's pivot eastward is not a sudden move, but rather the culmination of years of mounting friction with Brussels and the broader European Union. This tension has been simmering beneath the surface, shaped by a complex web of historical grievances, political ambitions, and cultural identity. As Hungary finds itself at a crossroads between East and West, its leaders have increasingly questioned the benefits and costs of EU membership, especially as the bloc pushes for deeper integration and common policies that sometimes clash with national interests. Since Viktor Orban's rise to power, Hungary has become a vocal champion of national sovereignty, positioning itself as a defender of traditional values and local control against what it perceives as EU overreach. Orban's government has repeatedly clashed with Brussels over issues ranging from migration to judicial independence, arguing that Hungary must retain the right to chart its own course without interference from unelected bureaucrats. This defiance is evident across multiple fronts. Judicial reforms have sparked fierce debates about the rule of law, while new media regulations have raised concerns about press freedom. In foreign policy, Hungary has often broken ranks with its EU partners, especially when it comes to relations with Russia, choosing instead to pursue a pragmatic approach that prioritizes national interest over bloc solidarity. Hungary's opposition to EU sanctions on Russia is a prime example. While most of Europe sought to isolate Moscow, Hungary deepened its energy ties, securing vital gas and oil supplies. This move was not just about economics, it was a statement of independence, signaling that Budapest would not be pressured into decisions that could harm its own people. Domestically, Orban's government has introduced laws like the Sovereignty Protection Law, designed to counter foreign influence and protect Hungary's political system from outside meddling. Critics argue these measures consolidate power and stifle dissent, but supporters see them as necessary steps to safeguard the nation's independence in an increasingly interconnected world. Underpinning these policies is a deep historical suspicion of external control. From the trauma of Soviet domination in the 20th century to the perceived constraints of EU membership today, Hungarians have long been wary of foreign powers dictating their fate. This collective memory continues to shape the country's political landscape, fueling a desire to assert sovereignty, whether the pressure comes from Moscow or Brussels. This long history of resistance and self-assertion has laid the groundwork for Hungary's recent moves to align more closely with China and the BRICS nations. By forging new partnerships beyond the traditional Western sphere, Hungary is signaling its intent to diversify its alliances and reduce its dependence on any single bloc. Over the past decade, this strategic divergence has become increasingly pronounced. Successive governments have gradually shifted Hungary's economic and diplomatic focus, seeking opportunities in the East while maintaining a delicate balance with the West. Ultimately, Hungary's choices on the world stage reflect a deep-seated desire for autonomy, a determination to protect its unique identity and chart its own path, even if it means standing apart from its neighbors. Amidst Western tensions, Hungary built bridges to the East. The Eastern Opening Policy aimed to diversify partnerships beyond Europe. China emerged as Hungary's most significant partner, offering investment and leverage. Chinese investments in Hungary's tech and manufacturing sectors are transformative. Hungary became China's reliable EU ally, diverging from EU stances on human rights. The Budapest-Belgrade Railway, funded by China, symbolizes this deepening alignment. Regional trends, with countries like Slovakia also turning east, validate Hungary's path. Hungary's Eastern Overture is part of a broader regional realignment. This sets the stage for its bold leap toward BRICS. In 2024, the world watched as BRICS expanded its ranks, transforming from a loose coalition of emerging economies into a formidable global force. The summit was more than a diplomatic gathering. It was a signal to the world that the balance of power was shifting. With new members joining, BRICS began to represent not just a collection of nations, but a vision for an alternative world order, one that could rival the influence of traditional Western alliances. The bloc's ambition to challenge the established global order was unmistakable. Headlines around the world speculated about the implications, as leaders from every continent debated what this new alignment would mean for international politics, trade, and security. The expansion was not just about numbers, it was about sending a message that the world was no longer unipolar. Against this backdrop, Hungary's 2025 move to align with BRICS was both bold and calculated. Rather than seeking full membership, Hungary opted for a strategic partnership, carefully positioning itself to benefit from the bloc's growing influence while avoiding the risks of overcommitment. This nuanced approach allowed Hungary to test the waters, forging new relationships without burning bridges. By choosing partnership over membership, Hungary maintained its vital ties to the European Union. This dual engagement strategy enabled Budapest to participate in BRICS initiatives, access new markets, and collaborate on global projects, all while remaining firmly anchored in the EU's economic and political framework. For Hungary, the decision was framed as pragmatic and forward-thinking. As a small, export-oriented nation, Hungary relies heavily on international trade for its prosperity. By engaging with BRICS, Hungarian leaders hope to diversify their economic partnerships, reduce dependence on any single bloc, and open new avenues for growth in rapidly developing markets. The potential for growth in BRICS nations was immense. With some of the world's fastest-growing economies, the bloc offered Hungary opportunities to expand exports, attract investment, and participate in ambitious infrastructure projects. Hungarian businesses saw new possibilities in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, regions where BRICS influence was on the rise. Hungary's move was more than just economic. It was a declaration of intent. By becoming a founding participant in this new power center, Hungary signaled its readiness to help shape the future of global governance, standing at the crossroads of East and West. The gambit was clear. Budapest aimed to secure the best of both worlds, leveraging its EU membership while forging new alliances with rising powers. This balancing act was risky, but it promised significant rewards if managed skillfully. Hungary's move reflects a broader response to a rapidly changing global landscape. As alliances shift and new centers of power emerge, Nations like Hungary are rethinking their place in the world, seeking flexibility and resilience in uncertain times. In the end, Hungary's leap into this multipolar world is a bold experiment, one that could redefine its future and offer a blueprint for others navigating the complexities of a new world order. Hungary's pivot to BRICS and China is an economic gamble. The potential rewards are vast, tapping into fast-growing markets and resources. Aligning with BRICS offers Hungary economic sovereignty and investment. However, the risks are significant with Hungary's economy tied to the EU. Defying Brussels jeopardizes EU market access and funding. Economists warn of over-reliance on China and potential debt traps. The collapse of a Chinese-funded project in Serbia highlights these risks. Hungary bets on a new world while risking its stable past. It's a perilous balancing act with uncertain returns. Hungary's BRICS embrace sends shockwaves through the EU. It's seen as a betrayal of EU solidarity, creating a crisis of trust. Hungary's actions could inspire other EU members to follow suit. A dissident bloc within the EU could paralyze decision-making. Brussels faces a dilemma: punitive measures or risk emboldening others. This internal turmoil comes amid external pressures like a potential Trump return. Hungary's move is a problem for all of Europe, testing EU unity. The risk of a permanent schism is real. Hungary's partnership with China is central to its new orientation. For China, Hungary is a strategic EU and NATO foothold. Hungary gains investment and technology without EU conditions. Critics warn of debt-trap diplomacy and security risks. Chinese tech integration raises espionage concerns in NATO. The partnership offers mutual benefits but strategic risks. Hungary gains a powerful patron but risks dependency. Balancing benefits without sacrificing autonomy is the challenge. Hungary's pivot reflects a broader global realignment. The unipolar moment is over. A multipolar world emerges. Hungary's move is a test case for future alliances. Some see it as pragmatic adaptation. Others warn of miscalculation. The BRICS bloc is seen as authoritarian, unlike the democratic EU. Trump's potential return adds to global uncertainty. Hungary's move is bold on an uncertain chessboard. The outcome offers lessons for the world. The geopolitical landscape is in flux. Hungary embarks on a journey into uncharted territory. It attempts to balance EU membership with a BRICS alliance. Success could create a new model for small nations. Failure could isolate Hungary from the West and compromise sovereignty. Hungary's move forces us to confront fundamental questions. The nation is at the crossroads of a historical transformation. Its path is uncertain, but the world watches closely. Hungary's journey may map the future for us all.